Folks, are you tired of people telling you your band is too darn loud when you're just trying to practice in your house or garage? Well, if you live in Austin, I have the solution for you. That's Space Rehearsal and Recording. Space is a state-of-the-art affordable venue for rehearsal and recording, located just a few short miles south of downtown Austin. They have 31 spacious rooms, great PAs, fantastic courteous staff. They have everything you need to get your artistic business together at Space. Find them at 512-448-9518 or go to spaceatx.com and start playing as loud as you want in Space, Rehearsal, and Recording. Let's get down. Gang, we all know Spotify is the best and most popular music streaming app. They have millions of songs by millions of artists available at your fingertips. But did you know that aside from millions of songs, Spotify now has thousands and thousands of podcasts from all of your favorites, including Fresh Air, How Did This Get Made? Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. They also have original programming like Stay Free, The Story of the Clash, and of course, the ever-popular Barack Obama and Bruce Springsteen podcast going on right now. Just go to Spotify.com or download the app from your app store. And don't forget to follow How Did I Get Here? That's Spotify. Millions of songs and thousands of podcasts. Let's get down.
And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
It's time for How Did I Get Here? And now here is your host,
All right, hello, I'm Johnny. I'm your host. Welcome to the show. I hope you guys have all had a good Labor Day weekend. I don't know what you did. Maybe you have a boat. Maybe you know someone with a boat. Maybe you water skied. It was a good weekend. I didn't encounter a lot of like crazy things anywhere. You know what I mean? I kind of kept to myself underground, did some rehearsing. Also, gang, I have big news. My girlfriend Terry and I got a dog Saturday night. Yeah, this dog was left on the streets of Fort Worth a few weeks ago. And a friend of Terry's found her, and they got the word out to all the different shelters and everything, and nobody claimed her. No one said anything. And she reached out to Terry and was like, hey, are you interested? Or, you guys interested? We said, hell yeah. Her name is Rosie. She's 4 or 5 months old. That weird sound like that you hear is her at my feet chewing a chew toy. She's a lovely, lovely dog. I'll post a photo of her on our How Did I Get Here Facebook page. So go to our Facebook page, check it out, like our Facebook page, and you'll get to see a picture of Rosie. What else is going on? I rehearsed with my friend Scrappy Judd Newcomb this weekend because I'll be playing with him tonight, Tuesday, September 7th at the Continental Club. Yeah, we go on at 10. If you're not doing anything, you live in Austin, come on out, check out the show. Scrappy's a great songwriter, he's a great frontman. I love playing keyboards. We actually play, we've known each other, more than 25 years. Been great friends, and we played together a lot. He produced my last EP, Leper Hands. And then we played together a lot after that. We wrote all these songs for the Dudley and Bob Show. That was a lot of fun. If you live in Austin and you listen to the Dudley and Bob Show, a lot of those songs were written by us, all the weird songs. And anyway, it's fun to have a relationship like that with someone, a musical relationship and just a friendship. So it's fun going to play with your bros. So tonight it's going to be a great time. I'm really looking forward to it. It's my first show. I was supposed to start doing this back in June, but what happened was, Scrappy, who is vaccinated, got COVID. Then he had to cancel those end of June shows, and then those were the ones where I was supposed to start playing, because he and I had actually gotten together and rehearsed and everything back then. And then at the beginning of July 4th, my grandma fell and broke a couple of ribs, lacerated her spleen, and so for a few weeks I was going to Houston and only really coming back to do whatever it was I needed to do. So. So then we were going to start getting together again, and then I got COVID. So finally, I'm doing okay. He's doing okay. We're playing tonight, Tuesday, September 7th, 10 p.m. at the Continental Club. Come on out. My great friend, Scrappy Judd Newcomb. I love that dude. It's fantastic. It was a crazy week last week in the world, wasn't it? In America, in Texas. It was pretty insane. Like all this stuff, like the fires in Lake Tahoe, the hurricane in New Orleans. the flooding in New York, which is the same thing as the hurricane in New Orleans, the same storm or whatever. Sam Houston, who was on the show last year, fantastic songwriter, just put out a great record. He was on tour in like New Jersey or something, and there's this photo that he posted where you could just see like this white, it looked like a white surfboard, but it was the top of his van, like submerged in water, and they lost all their equipment. There's a lot of shit like that going on, That's a lot of stuff. Fires, flooding, hurricanes. Now, weird shit that happened in Texas last week when we started, season 4 of the fucking Handmaid's Tale here. Jesus. Anyway, look, I know you don't come here for the news, but it affects all of us, right? I get freaked out about the climate stuff. I started that book, the Bill Gates book, and I'm not going to lie. I did not get that far into it when I was like, you know what, man? I don't know if I really want to know. I mean, there's nothing I can do for my little podcast place except to say follow Chris Searles on social media. He spent he spent the last decade dedicating himself to doing stuff about the environment, and even quit playing music. Not altogether, but he doesn't really play that much. He's out there doing all his stuff. Chris Searles here in Austin, great guy. Anyway, I got freaked out by all that stuff, but then I got a dog and it made it all better. And so Terry and I have been doing all kinds of dog stuff. We have gone to PetSmart a lot and gotten the things. She's a lovely dog. She's got a great personality. She's a lot of fun to be around. She loves people. She's real sweet. Rosie is her name. Rosie, you're all right. You wear my ring. You know what I'm talking about, the Jackson Browne song? But she's actually named after Rosanna, the Toto song. We call her Rosie for short. That's a lot of information. And also, like, new dog parents are usually really obnoxious about their dogs. So, but you will want to see this photo of her on Facebook. Gang, I have a great big show for you today. I have a double header with 2 shorter conversations, but really, really great conversations. I'll be talking to Sarah McTaggart from the band Transviolet, who just put out a great EP called Fever. It's available now wherever you download and stream your jams. It just came out in July, and they released a video for their single Drugs in California, and they are currently on the Drugs in California tour, which is making Texas stops next Monday, September 13th in Dallas at Ruins, next Tuesday, September 14th in Austin, right here in Austin, at Empire Control Room and Garage. Sarah and I have a great conversation about their music, about this great new record, about who she is as a person and how her musical journey started. But before we talk to Sarah McTaggart from Transviolet, who you can find at transviolet.com, let's talk to my friend Chad Goldwasser. Now, Chad Goldwasser has a very successful real estate company called Pure Gold Realty. He is a public speaker. He's an author of 2 books. And not only that, he's a huge music fan. He's such a huge music fan that 10 years ago, he started this thing called Rock and Restock, where they have concerts several times a year to raise money for different nonprofits, food shelters, and things like that. He's actually still has that going on. This Friday, September 10th, Graham Wilkinson and Ray Prim will be doing one. They had to do a last-minute venue change, so I don't know if they found the venue yet. You can just go to rockandrestock.com. Now, they're doing a lot more shows throughout the fall. But not only is he doing the Rock and Restock shows, but he's just straight up promoting shows. There's a great show tomorrow night, Wednesday, September 8th at the Belmont. It's the Waters Golden Anniversary Show. Now, you've heard the Waters on the show. I think they might have been on even twice. Great duo. I guess they've been around for 10 years and they're celebrating with a huge show tomorrow night at the Belmont, Wednesday, September 8th. And this show is put on by my friend, Chad Goldwasser. Like a month and a half ago or something, I was introduced to him, and it's great by a mutual friend at a show, and we ended up talking and staying in touch, and he's a fantastic dude. I love music fans and people that are out there and they're able to do something about music, like get involved with it and put on shows. And, Chad's that kind of guy. You can find him at chadgoldwasser.com. Rockandrestock.com is where you can find Rock and Restock. And I'll put a link to tickets for the Waters Golden Anniversary Show that takes place tomorrow night at the Belmont, Wednesday, September 8th. I'll be there. I've got my tickets for me and Terry. We're going to be out on a date. We're going to have to get a dog sitter maybe. Well, maybe she can stay in the kennel. Look, that's a story for another time. So without further ado, before we talk to Sarah McTaggart from Transviolet, this is me and Chad Goldwasser chatting it up. Let's get down.
like canceling them. I think I get COVID and I get the numbers. Do you think it's irresponsible for me to hold it still?
No, I think that there are ways to do this stuff and stay safe. There are people that are having events that aren't super spreader events.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of how people, handle themselves. And it seems like with the events, at least the one that I've been to, it seems like the Rock and Restock crowd is more enlightened than, the part of Texas that's anti-vax and anti-mask and everything. Like they seem a little hipper. So I think you'll have a safe event no matter what it is.
Yeah. So, and this time I will have more time to market it, because the last two times they cancel it with like 2 days,
Right. So, that's a tough thing right now, is like nobody really knows exactly, it's difficult to be doing these events and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
do you, I was reading, and you're a public speaker?
Yeah.
Where do you do this? Like,
Okay. So I'll give you the background in 2 minutes. Okay. And it's my story, so I'm just going to share it. It's not bragging. I just want to.
No. I want to hear your story.
I was 23. I was a bartender. I had no college degree. I did not know what I was going to do with my life. And I decided to get my real estate license because I was going to start investing in real estate. As I sat in the classes in 1997, I looked around at the people in those classes and I thought to myself, if they can sell real estate, I think I can too. So I got into the business, and I met a gentleman 6 months into the business. His name's James Willoughby. He was the top agent in the city of Austin. I went to work for him. He gave me leads. I worked as his buyer's agent. He mentored me, trained me, taught me. And for my first year, I sold over 60 homes with him. I was 25. That changed my life.
I could see that. Wow.
So I went on my own then, and I started building my own team, and I just focused on lead generation. 2007, 2008, I was number one in the world for a company called Keller Williams. There's about 90,000 agents at the time. And I realized one of the reasons I was successful was I was able to motivate, teach, train, inspire people to be awesome, and I could teach them how to be great real estate agents. And I developed this passion for motivating and helping impact people's lives in a really positive way. So I started developing myself as a speaker and a teacher. I started recording motivational CDs at the time, right? Motivation, leadership, interviews on how to be a great agent, systems, scripts and dialogues. And I started speaking all over the country. And then when I was in 2009, 2010, I went through embezzlement, lost almost half my agents, and a divorce. And so I lost a lot of motivation. I kind of felt like my life was over, to be honest, and sometimes I wanted it to be. And so I kind of put that on the back burner because I couldn't motivate myself. And but then in 2012 and 2013, I got re-motivated, re-inspired. I started focusing on health in my life. And so I started speaking and teaching again. I wrote my second book. And I released that in 2018, finally. And so I do speaking all over the country, really. So anyway, that's a little bit about that.
So you have a real estate company. Do you still actively, are you still doing
Yes.
are you still a realtor actively?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you need to sell your home, I would come, I would take care of you. I would sit down with you, share our system, list the property, market it, sell it, negotiate it, get you to closing, take amazing care of you. And I sell, about 40 to 50 homes a year. I have about 25, 30 agents that work for my company. I'm a broker. I have my own company.
Right.
And but I still sell homes. That's my main source of revenue, and my passions, serving people, selling real estate. but also putting on concerts and serving the musicians and going to shows and dancing in the front row and meeting great people that are musicians and supporting them every way that I can.
Your passion for it is palpable. Like it's very real. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to let you know that that doesn't go unnoticed. Just even text messaging with you. You're like sending me music and bands and shit. It's awesome. It's awesome to see someone that's able to make moves on behalf, helping musicians, helping different nonprofits, and being able to also, make a good living.
Yeah. Well, it started when I was 13 years old and I went to my first Dead show. And then I went to my second Dead show in Alpine Valley, Wisconsin. When I was 15, my buddy stole his parents' truck. We drove, he was 16, I was 15. We drove to Alpine. We wrote notes. I don't know if you saw the note that I put on Instagram or Facebook, but we wrote notes to our parents. We waited till they left in the morning. We made 2 ham sandwiches. We had a half bottle of vodka, a couple of smokes, but a bowl of weed. And we drove, and we had $60. We drove to Alpine Valley, Wisconsin, and we bought 2 tickets. We hung out in the parking lot. We saw the culture what was Grateful Dead. And we walked into the concert at 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. And we were having a lot of fun. And it was quite wild and a little freaky. And the Grateful Dead came on and changed my life forever. And I mean that in the most positive way. It wasn't just the music, it was the culture. Yeah. And what it did for me over the course of the next 8 years before Jerry died was it gave me worldliness, because I traveled all over the country to see them. It gave me the ability to connect with people, which I love people. It gave me a passion for music. It made me realize that, when I'm dancing in the front row at an Ian Moore concert that I'm putting on and Johnny Gowdy is on stage and I shut my eyes and I dance and I lose myself, it's like a meditation for me. And so, it's been really fun to evolve into what I'm doing right now, which is putting on a lot of shows other than just Rock and Restock. The Waters next week on the 8th. When Panic canceled their 3 nights, I got a call from Andrew Hall, who needed my help getting a venue for Panic Stricken in Kalu, who's one of my best friends, and being able to help put that show on. And it's really fun right now for me. And I'm not making money in the music business.
That's why it's fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's still a passion. I think if I was trying to make money in the music business, it might be, turn into something that is more of a pain in my butt. So, at some point, maybe I will. I've thought about building, my vision for what I'm doing in Circle C with Rock and Restock now is, they allowed me to put on 7 concerts in the park in Circle C. I think they'll ask me to do it again next year. And what I see, honestly, is within 5 years, I want to build a amphitheater in Circle C, 2,000 to 2,500 person amphitheater in the park in Circle C, and make it a place where I can put on shows. We can put on concerts, but also we can use it for kids and doing plays and the homeowners association. And what more value could you add to a neighborhood potentially by having, in a music city, having your own venue within the neighborhood? And it's not just about creating value, but making it truly what I envision for this neighborhood that I've lived in for 23 years, and using my skills in music and stuff and real estate to make it a more valuable and more fun place to live.
Yeah. So you started Rock and Restock as like a way to sort of get your company more visibility in a way?
Yeah. So I'll tell you the quick story again. 2001, I'm at the year 2000 in December, I was at a Real estate seminar down in San Antonio. This woman gets on stage. She says, I have a client appreciation party every year. I bring all my past clients and friends together. I have wine and cheese. I pay for it. And they all have one thing in common. I help them buy or sell real estate. I was like, that's brilliant. I said, I'm not a wine and cheese guy. I'm a music guy. Let's put on a concert. At the time, Guy Forsyth was renting a house for me. And so I said, let's
Wait,
have
that house in Hyde Park? On
no,
Speedway?
it was on Lorena down off of South First and South Congress, right south of 290. And I had bought it to use it as my office, and then I got kicked out by the city. So Guy Forsyth called me. I rented it out to him. Anyways.
Okay, sorry.
I said, I'm going to call Guy and see if he'll play this show for me. We're going to put on a concert. We'll invite all our clients and friends, and we'll make it. It was December at the time. And in December, the shelves of the Central Texas Food Bank get depleted and they need to be restocked. And that was the birth of Rock and Restock. 2001, we put on our first show, 150 people. We raised about $1,500 for the food bank. And then 20 years later, we sold out. We're selling out the Belmont every year with acts like Shaky Graves and the Black Pumas and Ian Moore and Paul Cawthon. And this year we got the call to basically, do 7 concerts within my neighborhood. And it's really exciting. It's really cool. I'm proud of it. And I told you about this when we were texting or Facebook messaging or whatever one day. What other concerts have been going on in Austin consistently for 20 years? ACL. Yeah. Blues on the Green.
Yeah. That's it.
What else? That's it.
Yeah.
And Rock and Restock. And so I think it's significant, and I think it's cool. And I think it's become a brand that people really, what I always wanted to do was not only bring the best music and the best musicians, but I wanted to make sure that energy was right. And so, I always tell people, I'll see you there, because I get on the phones and I call thousands of people and invite them. But I always tell them, I'll be in the front row dancing, because my job is to bring the energy as well. And
right.
When I'm on stage, to make sure that people get it and have a blast. And that's my job.
Yeah. It's a pretty fun job to have, right?
It really is. I like being the MC and introducing people, like the Black Pumas to 1,000 people that never know, that don't know these bands.
Right. Before they were in Target commercials and stuff.
What's that?
Is before they were in Target commercials and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
So as a fan of music, where did you moved here from Wisconsin?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. Okay.
Yeah.
When did you moved here for school?
I moved here for a girl.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. You didn't go to school. You didn't have a degree.
A girl that I met when I was 11 years old and started dating when I was 13. She moved back from Kansas after 3.5 years of school, and she moved down to Austin, and she convinced me to move down here, and we got married and built a company together and had 3 children together. And then we got divorced about 10 years ago. And although the marriage didn't last, it was the best move I could have ever made.
Yeah.
Because music is my life, music is my life, and this is a music town. And I get to, still to this day, I'm meeting new and great musicians like yourself that I'm introduced their music, which I love your music.
Thank you.
I knew you from Skyrocket.
Yeah.
But then when we met a month ago or whatever it was, a month and a half ago, I started listening to your music.
Yeah.
And like I told you, all the tea in China, I mean, everything. I listened to it all, and I love it. And I'm excited for the new stuff you're putting out too.
Thank you. So when you moved here, you started going to see music. Who did you like? Who got you into going out and seeing the music here and getting involved in the scene?
Like what bands made me get involved? Okay. Well, shoot, I remember going to see the Flaming Lips at Liberty Lunch in like 97. I remember when it was a Friday, I had just bought my first home down here. I was 22 years old and I popped in a new CD that I'd heard about. It was called Being There by a band called Wilco. And I said to my then wife, these guys are playing tonight at Liberty Lunch.
Yeah.
And we should go see them. And so we went to see Wilco, and still one of the greatest shows of my life. My top three bands, The Grateful Dead, Wilco, and My Morning Jacket, as I told you before. And that was amazing. But then, I started seeing bands like, a lot of the big bands, but the first ones I got into local, Guy Forsyth, Lavelle White, Bob Schneider, then Quiet Company, Bright Light Social Hour, Susanna Schoffel. The list goes on and on of the bands that I love here. My current total favorite, of course, is Deadeye, the world's greatest Grateful Dead tribute band.
Yeah. I saw you got them playing on October 25th.
Oh my gosh. I'm bringing the Dead to Circle C. It's going to blow people's minds. The Halloween extravaganza, costume party, dance party extravaganza. A bunch of my Deadhead friends are coming down from all around the country. So I'm hopeful that they don't cancel that one on me.
Yeah. So let's go over some of these dates. So October 25th, you do have Deadeye. October 8th, you have Quiet Company and Buffalo Hunt.
Next Friday, Graham Wilkinson and Ray Prim, if I can find a place to put it on.
Right. I'm gonna have to miss that one because I have a gig on Friday, but I want to go. I'm gonna go see the Waters Golden Anniversary show.
Yeah, if you can come to that, man, I would love it. I really, I love the Waters as human beings. Yeah. I love them as musicians. And again, they came to me as friends and they said, "Hey, will you help us put this show on?" And I immediately said, "Absolutely." So I'm in heavy promotion mode on that right now. I'm hoping to get 200 to 300 people there at least, just to show, just not only for the music, but to help show our, I wrote something a while back, about part of my mission as a music person here is to, put on legendary events with great energy, supporting the musicians, and just helping keep the moniker of the live music capital of the world. I don't want that ever to leave because it's important to me. And that's why I try to support the musicians in every way possible. If they put on a show, I'm going to pay them well. I'm going to, make sure they get tipped. I'm going to make sure they have a packed audience. The energy's good. And so, September 8th at the Belmont outside, the Waters Golden Anniversary show starts off at 7:30 with an acoustic set from Daniel and Jenna Waters, and then they're bringing out the full band, and we're going to have a gold party. That'll
be great, man. That'll be a lot of fun. I think they're a really, really great band. Great songwriters and everything.
Yeah.
And then the thing on Friday the 10th, people should just go check the Instagram or the Facebook. I'll put links to that stuff, and I'll put links to the tickets to the Waters show and stuff on there.
Yeah, do that. And the shows that I'm putting on, the Rock and Restock shows, they're all free. So nobody pays a dime for them. They're all sponsored by awesome companies that I work with. And my company, Pure Gold Realty, they're also supporting different nonprofits. This year we supported the Central Texas Food Bank, Austin Pets Alive, Imagine Away, the adventure people that help mentally challenged people go have fun adventures. And then this next one, we haven't finalized the charity that we're going to be benefiting. All I ask from people is, hey, give $10. We're putting on this event. It's a blast. You don't have to pay anything for it. Give that $10 you might spend on a ticket to the charities, and let's show the world and this country and each other that we are a giving community. We're not just, here making money and, we're giving back.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Yeah,
a lot
what you
of
do
fun.
is really great, and you do put on the events that I've attended have been really great. And sneaking on stage with Ian Moore, I wish I wouldn't have been invited. I wish I would just run on there and done that.
Well, there's going to be a Johnny Gowdy performance in the future.
Well, good, man. I'm excited. I believe in what you're doing, and you're a really nice guy. I'm glad that we've gotten to be friends. Let me ask you this one other thing about, like, do you get involved at all in, like, weird city sound ordinance issues? Like, is there some kind of, like, what time do you do those Circle C things? Is there some kind of...
The Circle C events are from 5:30 till approximately 9 p.m. So the sound stuff, I never get complaints from Circle C about the sound, and everyone is coming out, and it's bringing people back together in
That's
the
good.
community. And like, I live in Circle C. I sell a lot of homes here. I have a lot of friends here. And what better way to build more relationships and have a bigger presence than putting on concerts in the park? So the answer to your question is I haven't really gotten involved in the sound stuff, the sound ordinances and stuff. There's a venue that I love down in South Austin called the Armadillo Den, Armadillo, whatever you call it. But I look at it and I'm like, this is the Stubbs of the South. It's, it's on South Manchac. It's this beautiful venue. It's outside. They've got a great stage. They've got great bar, great outdoor seating. And they're having issues with some people around them, allowing them to turn up the music a little bit. And so, I feel like that's a group, that's a company, that's a venue that I would like to help to figure out how do we allow the sound to be where it should be, because I like it loud.
Yeah.
I like it loud.
Yeah.
And so, I may get involved in that because there's apparently some sort of suit going on where they might have some issues or something. So,
There's a lot of new places that are opening up that are outside, like the Far Out Lounge and the Sagebrush and that Meanwhile Brewery and stuff like that. There's some really good places like that.
Yeah, and Dreamland and Dripping Springs, another cool place. Belmont is always going to be one of my favorites.
Belmont. Yeah.
Hamid over at the Belmont, he's such an amazing guy. He always takes care of me for Rock and Restock and anything I need.
Well, I'll be out there. Does the Waters Golden Anniversary show, that's not a Rock and Restock event, or it is? That
is not a Rock and Restock event. That is just a Pure Gold Presents event. That's $10 for the tickets, $15 a day of. Wear your gold outfits if you have one. I'm going to have a photo booth there. We're going to take pictures. And really, it's not just a concert. It's a celebration of two people in Austin that came here, that made a name for themselves, their marriage, their love for each other, and their love for music and making the music. And I hope, there's a great amount of people there, but if it's me and you and we're up in the front row and we're hanging out and having fun, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Hold on. So that's it.
Yeah, man. Well, where can people find your books?
Go to chadgoldwasser.com.
Okay.
They can find out about, who I am. And, a lot of what I teach, a lot of what made me successful was I changed my mind. When I got to number one with Keller Williams, people would ask me, what is the key to success for you? And I would tell them massively positive fucking energy and an incredible attitude. And they would always be like, no, seriously. And I would tell them, hey, I can teach you everything about real estate, but positive energy, focusing on positive things, having a great attitude attracts people and allows you to build relationships and make a positive impact on people in a way that when they decide they want to go buy or sell real estate, they're going to come to you. And then I can teach you how to list a home and work with a buyer and do an open house and lead generate. And that's what I teach about, mindset, attitude, and then how to be a great agent and how to be a great salesperson, period. So
yeah,
hopefully a great human being.
Yeah, you seem like a really great human being. We need to have lunch. We need to do our makeup lunch from when I had COVID.
Dude, we'll do it. We got a lifetime left.
Yeah, man. Well, I will see you definitely on the 8th, which this will be coming out on the 7th. So I'll see you tomorrow. And
No, you'll see me next week.
right. But this will actually be coming out on the 7th. So people listening to it. Yeah.
Got it. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, brother.
It's been great talking to you. People can go to rockandrestock.com. I'll put links to the Facebook and Instagram and stuff so they can find out where the 10th is going to happen with the great Ray Prim and Graham Wilkinson, two of my favorite dudes.
Yeah, good. Well, it's great talking to you, buddy. And I'll be in touch soon so we can go hang out and have lunch.
Yeah, man.
And get to know each other even better.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we met, man.
Me too.
Yeah.
You have a great day. Thanks, Johnny.
Bye, buddy. You too.
Bye-bye.
That's Chad Goldwasser. To find out about all of these shows, the Rock and Restock shows, Friday, September 10th with Graham Wilkinson and Ray Prim, October 8th with Quiet Company and Buffalo Hunt, October 25th with Deadeye. Go to rockandrestock.com to find out about the Waters Golden Anniversary Show at the Belmont tomorrow night, September 8th. Check the body of the text of this podcast. I'll put a link to it down at the bottom. All right? Great talking to Chad Goldwasser. Great guy. I'm going to have to get him on again to get more of this story because he really is a motivational guy. You know, I got a lot out of talking to him. And you feel like a little, you know, when you meet somebody that has that kind of energy, you walk away from it feeling better for talking to them. So I'm glad that Chad came into my life. I enjoy talking to him, and I'm looking forward to getting to know him better. All right. All right, let's talk to Sarah McTraggart from Transviolet. Their new EP just came out in July. It's called Fever. You can find them at transviolet.com. They are currently on the Drugs in California tour, which stops next Monday, September 13th in Dallas at Ruins. Tuesday, September 14th in Austin at Empire Control Room and Garage. Go to transviolet.com to get tickets for any other shows. If you live in a different city, see if they're coming to a town near you, because this is going to be an exciting show. So, without further ado, let's talk to the amazingly talented and extremely cool Sarah McTraggart from the band Transviolet. Let's get down.
Out of all the drugs in California, you're the one that fucks my head up most. And lately I've been pleading with myself to leave it, but I crawl back begging you for more. And I don't want to want you
to San Diego to do some rehearsals for the Drugs in California tour.
Is that where you rehearse, down in San Diego?
We have been recently, just because, it's Mike Pan's, who's our bassist, parents have like an Airbnb down there, and they've been generous enough to let us use it. So been rehearsing in the kitchen there, and it's been perfect, actually. The acoustics are great.
Nice. Where do you live normally, in LA?
In LA, yeah.
Okay.
And you're in Austin, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you guys
Very
are coming here in September. That's exciting.
Yeah,
So
September 14th.
I know you guys. So you're doing like you're. It's still going through. The tour is still happening, even though the craziness
So far.
is also happening. Yeah.
So far, yeah.
Is this did you tour like when you put out your first record?
We did, yeah. We put out. Are you talking about the EP or the album, the Born to Rule album?
The album. Like in
Yeah, we did.
2019, you put that out, right?
Well, there was one called Kaleidoscopes, which was like technically an EP, but I think there was like 7 or 8 songs on it. So I don't know what's considered an album or EP anymore. For the sake of the label we were on, it was an EP. But yeah, we toured that one. We've been touring pretty consistently ever since we started, and I've been really lucky to keep it up. And we're touring in 2020 when COVID hit, had to come back 5 shows early. So happy to get back on the road and hit some of these cities that didn't get a show this time around.
How do you do these shows? Because this EP is really great. Fever, the EP is fantastic.
Oh,
and
thanks.
I love it. I love your songs and your voice and everything.
Oh, thank you.
You tour as a band, if I'm not mistaken, right? So how do you?
We do.
How does this translate from the electronic basis that it comes, like the package that it comes in, how does it translate live? Do you use tracks and stuff?
We do use a little bit of tracks for the stuff that would be uninteresting to play, like the sounds that are just kind of like pads or just kind of sustaining one note for a long time. It'd be boring to just like watch somebody hit one key for ages. So yeah, Mike Pan and John, they're kind of like our in-house music directors, and they get the tracks together and kind of decide what's going to go in the tracks and what's going to be played. And then, but yeah, most of it is played. Like Judah, our guitarist and keyboardist, is great kind of jumping back and forth between the two, and is really good at like taking sounds that are, were built as a synth and then making them being able to replicate them with his guitar using pedals and stuff to give it a really big live sound. Yeah.
Did you record this during the pandemic?
We did. Yeah, we recorded this pretty much remotely. We were all in separate places. So I did most of the vocals just in my little guest bedroom studio, and Mike and John were in San Diego in their home studios. Judah was, making fever in his bedroom. So yeah, we were all kind of working separately, and then just sending files back and forth, and still made it work. Yeah.
It seems like you're undeterred by what was happening over the last year to still, come through, release an EP and get out there on the road again.
Yeah, I'm really thankful that I was able to continue to write, and I don't know what I would have done without it. It was a good distraction. It was a good thing to kind of keep me busy, and it was a good outlet for all the big feelings I was feeling, and it gave me an opportunity to learn more about production and engineering. It's something I've always wanted to learn, but kept kind of putting off because it was unnecessary. I have 3 bandmates that are all producers, and, usually they're there to help me record. But didn't have that this time. So I was like, okay, well, guess I can either figure this out or we're not making any music for a year. So I'm grateful for the opportunity. Yeah, I'm grateful I was able to figure it out.
There's a good feeling. There's like an empowerment that comes with being able to record yourself. Like I learned at a very young age
Absolutely.
That you could do that. And I started doing it, and it really changed kind of like the kind of authority I had over my artistic vision all the time.
Absolutely. And the more I explore it, the more I feel like I have language to communicate with my collaborators. It's like, even though the sounds that I'm making as a producer or the effects that I'm putting on my vocals might not be the most technically sound, like I now have all these words that I'm able to, relate to them so that they can make it better, versus me just like trying to like say like, I want it to be like an echo, or like I want it to sound closer. It's like, now it's like, oh, I want it to have more compression, or I want there to be delay on it. I want there to be more reverb on it. I want the reverb to sound like this. I like this kind of reverb on this plugin. Like, what about something like this? Or to play these notes, that kind of thing. So it's yeah.
You know what's interesting?
It's helped a lot.
And tell me if you find this to be true. I find it in just like the gender division of the technical aspects of the music business, like the engineering aspect specifically, and producing and stuff like that. That the men outnumber the women like 100-1, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
And I know that number is growing.
We're so 100%.
But I feel like that's a thing that the way that we are brought up as people, like no one buys like a building set for a young girl. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I think for the most part, yeah, I know. I think that is just a stereotype that men are more technical and women are less technical or less mechanical, less mechanically inclined. I've always loved that kind of stuff. Like, and I'll credit my parents. Like, they were always like buying me like Legos and like buying me science kits and like buying me things like that, and encouraging me when I was like making websites in 5th grade, and just like we're like always really encouraged me to be like technologically savvy. But yeah, I think it does just come down to like, you don't see people that look like you in that field, and it's super discouraging. And I think a lot of people, and I don't think men do it on purpose, but I just think that a lot of people that are producers they make it out to be this like really difficult thing, like this really, really hard thing. And it's like, once I started getting into it, I was like, it's not that hard.
No.
Like, I mean, it can be, you know, but like, just like anything else, it's hard when you start. There's a learning curve. Yeah. It's like really frustrating. But as long as you want to learn it and you're curious, like, you have the internet, like you have the internet. And I mean, I guess too, I'm lucky to like have, you know, people that are close to me that are really passionate about sound design and production and are happy to answer my questions when I hit them up, and they get all passionate about talking about it. So maybe that's something that I wish was available to more women, because I can't see how it would be really overwhelming in the beginning to not even know what you're trying to ask, you know?
Right. Exactly. Your camera just froze when you were making a really great face. Like you were like,
cool. Like,
hey, who did this video for Drugs in California? That's a pretty amazing video.
Thank you. Yeah, that's director Kyle Vorbach and producer Skylar Boshilat. And we've done quite a few videos with them now. They're actually friends with the guys from Rochester. They've all known each other since like high school. And they hit us up, you know, a couple years ago, just kind of being like, hey, like we're in LA too. And like, we've been watching what you guys are doing. We're into it. And they've been a part of some really big projects. They did, you know, some videos for like Jonas Brothers and stuff like that. They'd already like had dabbled in some really big things, and we're looking to just kind of like have the opportunity to be creative and like edge up their director's reel. And we were all about it. So yeah, they're awesome. They're so talented.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like MTV, like it's broadcast. You know what I mean? It's definitely like, it's up there. The production value is super high.
Yeah. Kyle is just insane, because in addition to being an incredible director, he's also an incredible editor and special effects person.
Yeah. The
So like
effects are
that's
pretty
super
amazing.
handy, because like there's no way we could just like afford to do that if this wasn't a friend that was just like passionate about the band and passionate about the music and, you know, and these videos that he's conceptualized. So it's been super awesome to be able to collaborate with them.
That's great. So, all right. So let's figure out who you are here. You're from California. Where are you from?
Still figuring it out. I was born in Scottsdale, Arizona, and then I grew up on the central coast of California in several different cities, from San Miguel to Los Angeles to Atascadero, and later living in Paso Robles. I jumped around a lot, so I'm a bit of a nomad. My parents moved us around quite a bit, and then I continued moving around as an adult too, so I can't really blame them either. Seems like that anxious energy's genetic.
What were they? What did your parents do? What's their profession?
They were entrepreneurs. So they were constantly like starting and selling new businesses. And yeah, my dad's like super brilliant. He's an inventor. He invented electroconductive inks, which is like what you use to like print circuit boards. And he created, I don't know if you remember, like when you were a kid, there's these things called talking books where there'd be like stars on the pages of the page and would like say stuff. But he invented those.
Oh, awesome.
And so, yeah. My mom's in real estate. Growing up, she was a stay-at-home mom and really great mom. So yeah, they're both awesome.
And you have brothers and sisters, or?
I do. I'm one of 6, actually.
Wow.
So I have 3 full brothers and sisters. I'm the oldest of that batch. And then I have, I have 2 younger siblings. I'm the oldest of that 3. And then I have 3 older siblings who are my half siblings. And they're like, I have an older brother, an older sister, and then another older sister.
So you're kind of the oldest and middle child.
Yeah, exactly.
So how did you?
And if you know my personality, that's like very fitting too.
Yeah.
It's like, how am I like both like the black sheep of the family and also like oldest child controlling vibes? Yeah, I don't know.
How did you find music? Like, how did you connect with music?
Well, we since we did move around a lot, we had an especially like difficult move when I was like 14 because my dad had a debilitating stroke, and we ended up moving to the Cayman Islands, which his family is from. So we moved there to be supported. But it was a bit of a culture shock, and I didn't have any friends, and just like coming of age too. I think that's already kind of a difficult time in anyone's life, and just feeling, feeling like a loner and just feeling like super unsupported. Music was just the only constant I had. And I really leaned into writing poetry, and, my dad was a songwriter too and was always singing. So it's like, I've kind of always like had that around the house, and being around a lot of my family in the Cayman Islands, like those were my closest friends or my cousins. And they were all, super into playing music and learning covers and even recording. And they were the first people to record me. They were some of the first people I played music with. And they were so encouraging and taught me how to play guitar, so yeah, from there, it was just like, I was hooked, I was so hooked to this feeling of taking something that wasn't there, or taking very abstract feelings and synthesizing them into music.
That's a pretty amazing thing. How old were you when you started doing that?
15.
That's usually
15,
around that
16
time.
is when I started taking it seriously. Yeah. That's when I started taking it seriously. I mean, I was like singing and stuff when I was much younger. In fact, I was like singing in church, which is funny because I'm like I wouldn't consider myself a religious person now. I'm spiritual, but yeah, I would sing in church, and always loved performing, loved singing. Would always try to like copy my dad because my dad has this huge, like very operatic, like classical sounding voice, and project it so super loud and stuff. And going to any kind of family reunions, there'd be people breaking out a guitar and singing harmonies. So it was always like a big part of our family's culture to be musical and sing, and was always like super encouraged. But then, when I really started writing and making my own music was like 15, 16 years old.
What when you talked about like you started connecting with music because you felt alone in a way, and you kind of leaned into it. What was the music that you were there any specific artists or any specific genre?
Oh yeah, I was really into Radiohead, Bright Eyes, Modest Mouse, but also like I was also just like really into like Avril Lavigne and like Nelly and like all that stuff of like that's like super specific to like my era. Like it was Destiny's Child. I was like obsessed with Destiny's Child and TLC and like that kind of stuff. So it was very much like kind of straddling both like super pop and super like indie with like Broken Social Scene. Like I was super obsessed with Broken Social Scene and Feist and like those kind of voices. And I was like, oh, like I would just like imitate Feist. Like my first few songs I listen to now is just like, I was literally just like copying Feist, like exactly like how she would sing and everything about her. I was just obsessed with her. So yeah, I love those artists. And I love those lyrics, the lyrics just meant so much to me and really spoke to me as being this little loner teenager. I was just like, wow, like look at, these people have created this thing and it's made me feel less alone, and I can do that too. Yeah.
So when did you come back from the Cayman Islands to America?
Well, crazy story. So I was living in the Cayman Islands, moved there when I was like 15, I think it's like 14 and a half, 15 when we moved there. Record-breaking hurricane hit the island. It's a Category 5 hurricane, so we're talking like winds of 210 miles an hour.
Jesus.
Completely decimated and like devastated the place. Like my school, everything, like the school I went to was gone. We were actually in like a hurricane shelter for 3 the storm passed over, which was like another like crazy experience. Like there was no food, no water, like just sewage everywhere. It was super like, there's people, like just complete anarchy. It was pretty insane actually. Society unravels, like just completely civilized society to just like 8 hours of people running around with machetes and like holding up people for like gas and food,
Jesus.
Food or money, Yeah. So I ended up being evacuated, and we actually lived in like Orlando, Florida for a year. and then ended up kind of coming back to the States for a few years, living with friends. I lived in Paso Robles for a bit and ended up graduating from Paso Robles High School. And then I went to San Diego for a bit, and I was going to art school in San Diego. But it just like doesn't, like, I was going to school to be like a graphic designer, like an animation artist, and I still just like kept coming back to music. Like I was like neglecting my homework and stuff to like play on my guitar and like go to open mic nights, and I was just really feeling called to like do that. So I was actually visiting my family in the Cayman Islands because they were still living there. I was playing at all the open mic nights and stuff, and just really felt good. And I was like, I'm just gonna like live here again for a little bit. And so I ended up just like going back there when I was like 18, and I lived there for a couple more years, and really was like getting my feet wet as a songwriter and as a performer, just playing open mic night around there. And then once I started taking it seriously, I put up a little page on a musician networking site. Was band like that, and that's actually where Mike Pan found me, and it's like, hey, I like your voice, like you have, and I really like your instinct for melody. Would you be down to like write over this track I have? And he sent me like a track, Diego, when he was searching, because I literally said I was living in San Diego because I wanted to move to San Diego. So I was like, I'm so sorry if I lied. I actually am not living in San Diego. I'm actually living like 3,000 miles away in the Cayman Islands, but I'm going to get to San Diego. I don't know how yet. I have $40 in my bank account, but I'm going to make this happen. But a year later, I did end up moving to San Diego.
There?
Am breaking up?
Yeah, you cut out.
Oh, dang.
But you ended up moving to San Diego.
Yeah, I ended up moving to San Diego. Was there for, it feels like I was there for a long time, but I think it was only like a year and a half or something. Like at that time it was me, Mike, and John, and we were making music together under a project called Noise Floor. And we like put out 6 songs just like on Reverb Nation, and like, just little like burn some CDs with like a sticker on the jewel case. It was like, here's our EP. But that was enough to get us the attention of a record label, and they ended up signing us and moved us out to LA. And it kind of started everything. And then that like small label ended up getting us signed to a bigger label called Epic Records. And from there, things just kind of like exploded. Like we released our first song as Transviolet called Girls Your Age.
Right.
And then, that was nuts. Like Katy Perry was tweeting it and Harry Styles was tweeting it. And suddenly we were like touring the world and touring with 21 Pilots and getting to do all kinds of cool stuff, like be on TV. And it was like, holy shit, it all happened really fast. It was like a whirlwind. We got really lucky, I think, quite a few times. Serendipitous, just kind of the people we ran into. And yeah, it was wild. It was a crazy time.
That's really amazing. So you're in this, on this tour, you're specifically, there's an opener. I didn't write down their name. I'm sorry. That's with you.
Lorelai Marcel. Yeah.
Lorelai Marcel. But you are specifically seeking out LGBTQ community openers, like local openers.
Yeah, for direct support. Yeah. LGBTQ and people from the BIPOC community, just because we feel like they're just so underrepresented in the indie pop space. And, we have this opportunity to give them a platform. And so, yeah, we want to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible. I think that's really great. It takes taking some kind of stand. Now, as far as like the tour goes, are you guys implementing any sort of like COVID protocol or restriction things?
We're going to wait a little closer to the date to like make those decisions. I mean, to be honest, it just seems like things are changing like week by week. Literally, like we were talking about this last time we came up for rehearsal. Like last week was like literally 2 weeks ago, there was like no question that things were just going to be completely back to normal. And now with the Delta variant, it's like now we're having to have all these conversations again. So I kind of feel like until we're a little closer to the date, it's kind of pointless to make plans.
Yeah.
I was like, let's wait until we're like 2 weeks out, and then we'll really start thinking like, okay, like what are we going to do here?
Right.
Most of the venues already have like their policies and regulations in place. So we're kind of just like following their lead. You know, some of them are requiring people to be vaccinated to come in. Some of them are requiring, you know, masks. I think most of them are requiring masks at this point. So we're just kind of taking their lead at this point. And then if things are looking, you know, really bad right before we go, then we might have to, you know, change course, but rolling with the punches. That's all you can do right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in a band that just started getting out and playing again, and we had these 2 giant weekends of shows, and then I tested positive last week and got sick, even though I'm vaccinated. Yeah.
How are you feeling? Are you okay?
I'm feeling a lot better. I'm on the other side of it now, but it's even rough if you're vaccinated. I mean,
really?
Yeah. I mean, it's a drag, you know, having no energy. I can't taste anything. I'm starting to be able to kind of smell some stuff. So,
oh man,
yeah, it's insane. It's funny because, like, you know, in 2020, when we all went into lockdown, everyone was in lockdown and they were okay with it. And that it was about being safe and keeping other people safe and during that shit. But then when everything opened back up and everyone got vaccinated, now it's kind of hard to like, now it's like, how can I still live my life and not catch this thing? You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. And I mean, the other thing is too, it's like, it's this really delicate balance of like, yeah, we're trying to keep everybody healthy and safe and prevent the spread. But, you know, the mental health hazard is a very real thing too.
Oh, yeah.
And we're seeing the results of that too. And it's like, yeah, I don't know if we can do another lockdown. It's like, man, as much as we might need to, you know, we might, and if we have to, we have to, and I'll be all on board with that. But yeah, I think people are just exhausted of like dealing with this. And it just seems like a group project that we all kind of failed. You know, everyone needed to like do it right the first time. And we had Florida and even Texas, you know,
yeah,
Texas was wilding the whole time, you know? So just like, oh man, I don't know. It seems like we had this opportunity to maybe catch it early, and we just didn't really we just really couldn't come together and do it. Because I see in other countries, like they really, in the first, you know, few weeks of this thing, just were like, nope, everyone is inside. You are not allowed to come outside. Everything is closed. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And they got rid of it. Like in the Cayman Islands, like they're completely back to normal now. There's no COVID cases there. Nothing. Like no COVID cases. They're completely back to normal. No one's wearing masks. Like most people are vaccinated because they were so strict on it right out of the gate. We're just like literally you would like go to jail if you like left your house. Like it was like that strict. Like they were like, no, we are not fucking around. Like stay in your homes. If you come outside or you are like, you know, if you're found outside after curfew or on the days you're not supposed to be outside, like you're in jail. Like that's how this is going to go. So, I feel like we maybe should have done something like that in the beginning, as extreme as that sounds, but we could have, you know, had more freedom now. So it's I'm not sure if we made the best decisions initially, and we're paying for it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, I feel like people will be able to pull off these shows safely. I feel like, I know I didn't catch what I caught. I didn't catch it at a show. My girlfriend got it and so I got it. Yeah. So anyway, well, I wish you a lot of luck on the tour. This EP is fantastic. People can see you in Dallas on September 13th at Ruins, and September 14th here in Austin at Empire Control Room and Garage.
Yes. We're so excited. We love playing in Texas.
I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys play. Like I love your music and your energy seems really incredible. It's been really nice talking to you and getting to know you a bit.
Oh, thank you. It's so good talking to you as well. And I was checking out some of your music before we hopped on. I was really enjoying it as well. You're a great singer and songwriter.
Oh, thank you.
So,
thank you very much.
Great to speak to you too.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, good luck with everything, and hopefully I'll see you on the 14th.
Yes, I'll see you there.
All right. Take care.
Buy you a drink.
All
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Moments in the light, moments in the light, feeling so alive. I don't even gotta try.
That's Sarah McTraggart from the band Transviolet, their EP Fever, available now wherever it is that you stream and download your jams. They are currently on the Drugs in California tour. You can find them at transviolet.com. Go to their tour dates and get involved there. If you live in Dallas, they'll be there Monday, September 13th at Ruins, and they'll be here in Austin. Next Tuesday, September 14th, Empire Control Room and Garage. Don't forget to go to the Waters tomorrow night at the Belmont. It's going to be a great show, their golden anniversary show. I want to thank Chad Goldwasser for talking to me. I want to thank Sarah McTraggart for talking to me while she was driving. That was exciting. And gang, if you're not doing anything tonight, I know I'm loading you up with stuff. Tuesday, September 7th, I'll be playing tonight at 10 p.m. at the Continental Club with my dear friend Scrappy Judd Newcomb. Go down for links to all the stuff and everything, okay? Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. You get to see photos of my new dog, Rosie. Say hi, Rosie. Nah, she's just chewing on stuff. All right. Have a great week, whatever it is you're doing. Let's get down.
One that fucked my head up. I've been swearing up and down that I don't need you, but I'm lying. Hate it, but it's true. Tell me that you love me, need me, please. I'm begging. I keep chasing.